Smart Rack wall mount enclosure is a new addition to our Smart Rack lineup. When you don't need a full-size enclosure or you just don't have the room for one, the wall mount enclosure is perfect. It has 12U of rack space, which is enough for most distributed network applications, but it requires a minimal install space. The wall mount enclosures have two main advantages over open frame racks. First, when it's mounted to the wall, it does not require any floor space. Second, it provides the tamper-proof security you need for your IT equipment that is installed throughout a facility. When the enclosure's doors are closed and locked, the equipment inside is completely secure and it can only be accessed by authorized personnel. This is really important because the IT department often has to install equipment in rooms that were never designed for secure access. In fact, the install locations often have to serve more than one purpose, requiring shared access to the room. As an example, think about your IT equipment installed in a school. A newly built school may have dedicated wiring closets designed for the IT department to install equipment around the campus. These rooms are built strictly for the use of the IT department, so access can be tightly controlled and limited to the IT staff. With a dedicated wiring closet, an open frame rack may be the appropriate solution since access is controlled by the room, which can be locked and placed off limits. An older school is a different story. An older school won't have these dedicated wiring closets for the IT department, so equipment often has to be installed in shared spaces. Tripp Lite's new wall mount enclosure keeps equipment protected and saves precious space in these cramped, unsecured rooms. And you don't have to sacrifice functionality versus a full-size enclosure. Our wall mount enclosure is compatible with all 19-inch rack mount equipment and has enough depth for network equipment and cable bundles. The top also has cutouts for cable access. The front and rear mounting rails are adjustable. Cage nuts, screws, and washers for equipment mounting are included. And you can mount a lot of equipment. The enclosure is very sturdy. It can hold up to 140 pounds when it's mounted to a wall, or 200 pounds when placed under a desk or rolling on the optional caster kit. These are the same heavy-duty casters we use in our full-size enclosures. Even when the enclosure is mounted to a wall, you can access equipment from all sides, through the front door, through the rear, and through the removable side panels. And you can see that every side is also fully ventilated to keep your equipment running cool and reliable. The cabinet is hinged and swings away from the wall for easy access to equipment and cables even when the enclosure is fully loaded. In cramped closets, you may be limited to how the doors can open. The enclosure is very versatile and gives you a lot of options. If the cabinet needs to swing in the opposite direction, you can just simply flip the entire cabinet. The door can also be reversed to maintain the original door swing. So, if you have limited space or a smaller amount of equipment, but you also have to keep everything secure in a public area, Tripp Lite's 12U wall mount enclosure, it has everything you need.